righty. Good evening, Alyssa. Thank you for coming on Sports Talk with C.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Well, we'll get right into it. Tell me what it's like growing up in Beverly, Mass. And when you hear the word basketball, what do you think of?
So growing up in Beverly, I have two brothers and I'm the middle in the family. So, growing up, it was always an extremely competitive house. And, so many different challenges came with that of being the only girl and so many opportunities from that. I definitely translate how I grew up in my family to how I play on the court. And basketball has meant so much to me for so long and so many years. And playing at Brown has been a great opportunity, and I'm so excited every chance I get to play, and every day at practice is just great.
Okay, so when you talk about being competitive, are your brothers the reason you picked up a basketball? What was one of the reasons you would say that you started playing basketball?
I played every sport basically growing up. I
Okay.
played tackle football, flag football, lacrosse, softball, and basketball just stuck because I was always taller when I was littler, so
Okay.
it was, I formed, that aggressive side through playing, a little bit of a smaller forward than other most bigs that, are in our league now. But my dad played basketball and he plays exactly like me. He played more just like for fun after college, but he played football in college at a smaller Division 3 school, but he loved it. And he's an extremely strong man. So I got his, aggressive side and like how he attacks the rim. So it's been
Okay.
awesome.
Oh, nice. Play like daddy, huh? So you say that you said you played tackle football. What would you say that you took from playing tackle football and you applied it to your basketball game?
From tackle football, I took, being doubted because I was the only girl on the whole team. This was fourth grade, and everyone was kind of like, "Why is a girl playing tackle football? You're not really supposed to do that."
Don't
But
doubt us women.
yeah, I took, being doubted, and I took the starting running back's position, and I loved it.
I know
So
that's right.
that mindset of just that mindset of doing anything is possible.
I know that's my mindset of doing anything is possible. So do you currently use that mindset going into playing basketball now?
Definitely. I know you've been following Brown for, since the beginning of our season and probably
Yes.
past that, but I didn't play the first few games and, I just kept on the same mindset of, my time's going to come and once I get in there, I'm going to play just how I need to play and, do my role that the team is looking for.
Yes. So before we get into jumping into Brown, I want to speak about, Tilton High School. So I read that you were the athlete of the year in 2020 and 2022. Just speak to the work that you put in to even accomplish that and what you felt when you received those awards.
Those awards mean so much to me because both years you see that gap year in there. So once I came to Tilton, I was coming off tearing my ACL. So that was a huge year for me. And it felt amazing to, reach that goal my first year there and as a sophomore. And then junior year, I didn't get it. They didn't have it because of COVID and everything. But I was also out that year because I had a knee surgery to be cleaned up from my past surgery. So then it was senior year. That was another comeback for me. And, it felt great to get that award and just look back at, getting it twice in a row, basically, because I didn't play junior year. But, each year had a different challenge that I had to get through, and it was just amazing.
Speaking of, having an injury and you tore your ACL, what are some ways you got through that injury to even get back on the court? And how important is it to have coaches and teammates behind you that support you to get through that injury?
Yeah, definitely. My high school coach, Tara Brisson, she is an absolute legend in the NEPSAC community. Everyone knows of her. She was so supportive. So when I went through my ACL, she still recruited me. She had full trust in me to know that once I'm back, she's going to be right there with me and she's going to make sure that, I get recruited. I make our team a winning program. I bond with my teammates, and she did exactly that. And then it was devastating to hear that I was out junior year as well, because we were looking to, have just as, we won the championship sophomore year and we were looking to do the
Nice.
same thing junior year. And it was so hard. We cried in our office together when we found out I was going to be out, but she was there every day reminding me that like it's one day at a time and everything is an accomplishment. Going through an injury, you have to take it day by day. You
Mhm.
know, running, walking, squatting is an accomplishment, and each thing is just going to lead you to the next level.
What would you say was the most difficult part of your injury when getting back to playing basketball?
Definitely the mindset, going through an ACL. My other one was a little easier, but when I tore my ACL, that was a long time ago, but it was just slow and it felt like every day was the same thing. I would go to school, then I would have PT, and it just felt like it was the same pattern.
Mhm.
And, I felt like I wasn't getting much out of it. So that's what was definitely hard.
And if someone came to you looking for some type of advice with the same injury, what would be the most important thing you would tell them?
I would say don't look too much in the future yet. I would say take it day by day. My brother just recently went through a knee surgery and he was out for a while, and he would ask me so many questions, and it's just trusting the process basically, and remembering why you're doing it. I would think, I would just say you're doing this for a reason to, be able to play. My brother plays football at UNH, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, so it was very hard for him to sit out this year, but I just told him, take it day by day, and I would encourage him each step. If he did a squat, if he did lunges, I would say that's amazing, you couldn't do that 2 weeks ago.
Okay, that's what's up. So, guys, you hear that? Injury, day by day. So, you got female athlete of the year, defensive MVP in high school. If you could describe your game in one word, what would it be?
Oh,
I love it.
I just, my high school game, I loved my high school game, and if I could describe it, I would say just warrior. I think that
Ooh, I like
I think I
that.
was the definition of a warrior. I have warrior tattooed on me on my leg where I got surgery.
Yes.
I just, if I did one thing wrong, it was right back at the other end. If I turned it over, right back at it, getting a huge block. I was aggressive slasher, a great defender. So just the things like that other people sometimes forget to do, I always wanted to do them.
Yes, you do. You definitely do. But excuse me, you speak of the defensive end, but you also had a 1,000 point career as well. And can you just explain those emotions while receiving that in high school as well?
Yeah, that was a great honor, being a part of that at Tilton. I got it in 3 years, which is, an
Wow.
amazing, that felt great just because, I've had the past of injuries. So, we didn't know if I was going to get it. And, that was a hard part, but reaching that was amazing because I got it on an offensive rebound putback. And that's a huge part of
Ooh,
my,
that's
yeah.
sweet. That's definitely
That's a
sweet.
huge part of my game. So it
Yes, it
just
is.
felt right to have it like that. It felt right to get my 1,000 point by that, which is something I do pretty well at.
That's dope. That's fire. It goes with your whole definition of being warrior, like in your face. That's what's up. So, Brown is Ivy League, and um what was like the recruitment process? Was it easy? How did you come to Brown? Not many people really know about Brown University. I mean, I know you're in Mass, so it's not really that far, but what was your biggest choice in choosing Brown University?
Yeah. So my recruitment process, with the injuries and the surgeries, it was pretty late. Um, I was committed to a school. My junior year, I was committed, and then just there was a feeling in me that thought like I want to open it up again. I had completely respect for the school that I was committed to. They were a great program. There was just some things in me that told me I wanted to keep considering them, but it just didn't end up working out. I completely understand their decision, but I went into senior year with no offers, and I was coming back from my injury. I had no offers, and it was a huge risk to decommit and open up my recruitment again. But I knew that Ivy League was always on my, in my future. I wanted Ivy League, but I took a risk. My mom told me risk versus reward, and it definitely did pay off taking that risk. And coach, I went to a few camps, and I went to the Brown camps before my senior year, but I still didn't get that offer. And then they came to one of my Tilton open gyms, and it happened the next day after that. And it was an amazing feeling. I cried on the phone to Coach Mo, and I was so excited because I knew I was going to commit to Brown. I loved Coach Mo and her style and the defense they played. So it was an unreal feeling.
And I read that it gave students, the chances to take chances and grow. And, that goes back to what your mom says, risk over reward. Thus far, what has some of the chances that you've taken or some of the risks that you've had experience at Brown?
So definitely just the classes are you learn so much every day. You don't realize how much you learn just in one semester. I feel like I can make decisions so much better. The class, just I had to choose my classes, and making those decisions, I was so overwhelmed. But then by the time we get to second semester, I was like, I know exactly who I am as a student aspect, basically. So now, I'm very excited for the courses that I'm going to be taking, and it's amazing.
And how are you balancing, because it's Ivy League, how are you balancing the books, the life, and basketball?
Yeah. So I love having a busy schedule. My whole life I've been, very busy and going from activity to activity. And I think I have a huge calendar in my room where I write everything that I have to do. And I make sure when I have free time during the day, I get my work done, or I get an individual in if I need to. But I make sure that I don't really relax until after practice, and then I'm done for the day. I think it's nice to have practice and then I'm done and I can go relax in my room or just tidy up my room, or, the little things like that.
Right. All right. So do you balance it well? Does it become a struggle? Is there times where you still get overwhelmed with because I know the work is extremely hard.
There are definitely days where it's like you just, when you have a free minute, you just want to sit on your phone. And I just have to remind myself that if I don't do it now, it's going to pile up in the future and be way worse. So it's all about discipline for me. It's all about keeping myself in order and holding myself accountable. That's a huge part of if I'm going to be able to, hang out with my friends one night or get in the gym and get some shots
Right.
up if I get what I need to get done.
That's what's up. I know that's right. I couldn't do it. I couldn't go to no Ivy League school. I love the books, but not that type of book, So if you could say, or who would you look up to when it comes to a professional basketball player or any basketball player that their style of play, that you mimic, who would you say they would be? WNBA, NBA, your teammates, players that you grew up with, who would you say you played like or challenge you the most?
Someone who's always challenged me is my old high school teammate, Anae Adams. She's not ESPN ranked. She's one of the best point guards, I'm going to say, in the nation as a 24. So she's a junior currently. And she went to Tilton my junior year. And I was out junior year, but I would watch her and I would remember, the attitude she had. No one can beat her in her mind. She has the strongest attitude ever. And, she always is it's all about the mindset for her. And senior year, we would face teams that are deeper than us, but she taught our team to be so mentally strong and have the attitude that no one can beat us. And seeing her performance, she's such a high player and her ego is so low, and she's just amazing to be around. And she makes people better because she holds you accountable and she rewards you with nice comments and celebrating with you. And it was great to play with her my senior year. And she, every day at practice at Brown, I remember, practices with her and what she would say to me in those moments.
That's what's up. Well, shout out to Nay. Continue doing your thing out there on the basketball court, girl. And that's, I love hearing it when it's usually comes from someone that and it's not someone like, a Kyrie or a LeBron, and it's it's more, I feel like it's more from your heart when it's someone that challenged you as a teammate or just someone that you grew up in. It's not really, big shot yet, because she's definitely gonna get there. So, right. What are some goals that you have set out for the season going in as a freshman this year?
I would just my biggest goal is just to keep doing the little things, definitely. And my goal is every day for practice to my goals aren't huge, but my goal for me that I really want to succeed is every day at practice, make sure that I'm not taking, like I'm making sure that every opportunity I have, I'm capitalizing on it. I want to 100% every single rep, 100% every day that I show up to make sure that I'm preparing myself for playing these amazing players that we're going to go against.
That's what's up. And how do you get ready for a game?
It's definitely just, getting in the gym that day, getting shots up, working on my form more, not, 3-pointers, maybe just even form shooting before to make sure that, the touch is there, getting some mic-ins up, just the little things.
All right. And what are some goals that you have set either with your team or for your team?
We definitely want to make the Ivy League tournament one year. If not this year, then next year or the following year. The Ivy League's a great league with a ton of teams that are amazing. And that would be an amazing accomplishment if we were able to compete for, to be able to play in the NCAA tournament.
That would be dope. Hopefully I get to cover it because
Yes.
hopefully you guys definitely get there this year because that would be definitely fire. And Alyssa, I will continually watch you grow this season and continue watching you play. I love that you are a defensive player because that's my type of game because everyone likes to shoot nowadays. So I definitely love watching you play basketball and I cannot wait to no more basketball because I got to wait till like January to see you guys play because you usually go to Florida, but good luck at that game. Go down there and kill it. And thank you again for coming on Sports Talk with me.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great. Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
You're welcome.